So this is my final iteration of my Doom level, and here we start, and basically like a lobby room, so there's a time trials option right there. The player can enable it or choose to not enable it. This guy is basically, it's like a starting dummy. Basically you could practice your shooting, see the different damage values. If you hit them in the head, it's a higher damage value. If you hit them in the torso or anywhere else, it's lower. Also gives you a red indicator to show that you're not hitting them. That guy cannot attack you unless you enter his little box, because he basically has no indication of where you are. Yeah. So here are just like the starting enemies to kind of lead you towards that one area where you're supposed to go before trying on the yellow door and finding out that it's locked. Then here's your first boss. He's relatively simple. 2 crates there so you can move around and basically avoid getting killed by him. And so after you kill him, there pops up those 3 pillars that basically are now the replacement for, if you do not do time trial, you can activate those pillars to either make it easier, make it harder, or make it like way harder. Now you can activate all 3 of them. So this one, activate, it basically takes the difficulty down by 1. This one increases the difficulty by 1, and the other one, the last one, increases difficulty by 2. But if you activate both of the difficulty increasing pillars, then it increases difficulty by 3 instead of just 2 or 1. And now we move to the second boss here. And I have my pawn guy there to basically lead the player to start fighting him. And he'll jump up to where the player is and basically guide them into this room, which I'm trying to avoid hitting because there's enemy triggers. Cheesing the system a little bit. And then he's dead. Right when he dies, the 3 pillars are basically spawned in the area that you're supposed to be going towards next. So that's why they're not anywhere in sight, but they will be soon. And this is a little hidey spot for just like the various items. Good place to replenish your health, ammo, armor. Yeah. Go get it. This room is just holding a speed increase. And then I progress to where they have the difficulties. So basically it's hidden before the boss is killed, and then once they're killed, this pillar appears where you could select the difficulty to see if you want it either harder or easier. There's just a standard fight. There's not actually any boss here, but I am trying to like get 2 secret enemies to spawn, so I need to take damage before I could hit that armor over there. So that's why I waited for so long for him to actually hit me. So once I take that armor, then I activate these 2 guys. If you defeat them within time, you can get a secret damage boost out of them. Kind of a stick there, I thought he would stagger. So I got the damage boost. Now I got the ledge climbing ability, which just makes you climb ledges faster. It's quite useful for the next area. And there's another secret damage boost. As you can see, this one level has a lot of platforms, so basically climbing up legends easier makes a huge difference in terms of your speed. Oh boy. In earlier iterations, I found that these the guys that fly at you, they didn't do enough damage, so I made it specifically so they do quite a bit more damage than they're supposed to, even on different difficulties. So they generally will take out anywhere from, like, the lowest would be a fourth of your health to right now it's basically almost all your health. If you get hit twice by them in succession, you are dead. I find that more interesting since they are very loud enemies and they also die in one shot regardless of your damage output. So I found that just making them more of a priority would kind of facilitate more fun gameplay. And that guy just kind of leads you into this room where there is a red key card. Red key card activates the 3 enemies outside, which I'll be getting to soon after I increase the damage a bit more. I increase the difficulty a bit more. These are just 3 specters. It's a relatively easy fight, but it could get challenging if you don't do correct spacing with the enemies. And I almost got surprised over there. Now after you kill those 3 enemies, you can proceed over here where those 2 enemies came from and go to the next area, which also gives you another difficulty increase option. I just want to grab that health to make sure I didn't die while activating them. I kind of want to do like a long hallway battle to facilitate the use of basically the long range of this weapon, the accuracy of it. And here I was just showing basically the visibility of this from the window. And it is another secret damage boost for the player. And here I made it so the door will not close on him since he spawns in front of the door. And it still doesn't have quite the effect that I wanted it to have. Basically, you're running away from him and then it has all a cinematic explosion. I think at this point, it may be the closest I can get without trying to influence the AI in some way, which I don't think is possible with this current Doom Snap Map engine. And there I just got demolished by a Pinky. Those enemies are almost like the flying hell spawns, and that they don't have much health and they do a lot of damage. They will generally kill you in one hit. In fact, regardless of the difficulty, they will do 1,000 times the damage. No, not 1,000, 100 times the damage of their original, like for the base game damage. So they will almost always kill the player in one hit. Here I'm basically trying not to get demolished by these guys who shoot a green liquid, which basically makes that area somewhere you don't want to be since it puts acid on you, which slows you down and does damage even if you're above it. I defeated the first one of him. I should go and defeat the mini boss one. Then after that, I can proceed to the finish of this level. There we go. Just kill the last demon for good measure. I tried to dress up a little of blood splatters, but that is the victory room. And that is it for my level.